Hi, my name's Alex. I'm with AquaPro Pool and Spa in Bloomington, Indiana. Today we're going to go over the freshwater salt system for a hot spring spa on a high life hot tub. So first off, we'll get right into it here. We're going to go into the salt menu, which is a little water droplet icon, and it's going to bring you to this home screen. So obviously it doesn't show what anything is. It just kind of has a series of icons and numbers. So this gauge right here is your salt level. You want, if we were referring to it like a clock, for instance, you want to be anywhere from about 9 o'clock to 3 o'clock. Preferably somewhere in the 12 to 2 range, which you can see we're at 3, so we're actually a little tad bit high on the salt level here. But once your salt level is good, you pretty much can forget this little gauge even exists. Your salt level doesn't change unless you add salt to it or you drain it completely and refill it. So once your salt level is good, just forget that little gauge even exists. This number right here that we have set to a 3, this is the output level of the hot tub. So this is where it gets a little bit confusing to some people. This number, let me get back in there. This number is how you control how much chlorine the hot tub is producing. And this corresponds with how often you use the spa. So this specific model here, the Envoy, we very rarely have people using this. So we have it set down to a 3. It's been running for about 2 months. We've never added chlorine to it. The chlorine level is always perfect. We check it every day. But again, that's just because nobody really uses this very much. Now, if we deliver this tomorrow and people start using this frequently, the whole family, kids, etc., you would want to increase this number because you need more chlorine to keep up with that amount of a bather load. So, for example, so I'm set at an 8. This is for people that use it maybe 4 or 5 times a week. If I were to leave for the weekend, close my cover, nobody opens it up all weekend long, when I come back Monday, my chlorine level is probably going to be through the roof because that's way too much chlorine for a hot tub that nobody's using. So for my circumstance, I need to go ahead and put that back down to where I had it so we don't get too high on our chlorine level. Okay, so again, it's a little bit of trial and error. So let's say you have it set at a 6 theoretically. You test the water in a few days, your chlorine level's low, you know you need to go up a little bit. So go from a 6 maybe to a 7 or an 8. And then vice versa, maybe you open it up and you just get hit in the face with the smell of chlorine, the chlorine level's way too high, you need to dial that number back a little bit. But the goal here is to kind of find a sweet spot that works for your family where it's just perfect chlorine all the time and you guys are smooth sailing. The next option is the boost function. It looks like a little rocket ship. So, looks like I actually turn that on at some point. So if we turn the boost function on, that means we're running, even though we're set at a 3, we're actually running on a 10 out of 10 for a full 24 hours. So a circumstance whenever we would use this. So let's say like we're at a 3 right now, obviously. Chlorine level's great, chlorine level's perfect. But maybe later on today, a family comes through that door, they hop in, use the hot tub, and the chlorine level just plummets. Instead of changing my number, because I know that number works for us, we're gonna go ahead and boost the system. And whenever we boost it, it's pumping chlorine as much as it possibly can for a full 24 hours. After 24 hours, it will revert itself back down to whatever number I have it set to. So at this exact moment tomorrow, it will shut itself off, go back to a number 3. Okay, and then the last thing is the replace the cartridge button. So every 4 months, 3 to 4 months, you have to replace the cartridge, which is this little guy over here. We'll get into that here in just a second. There's 2 ways to know if it's time to replace. So let's say you go the full 4 months without replacing it. You will see the little icon start flashing that says something's not happy with the salt system. We'll go into the salt menu and it will tell you right in the middle of the screen it's time to replace the cartridge. Now the other way is let's say it goes bad in 3 months instead of the 4 months. Instead of it telling you it's time to replace it, you'll notice that little gauge there that I said to just forget even exists, the salt level. You're gonna notice that's gonna start reading really low on the salt, like it'll be in the 6 or 7 o'clock range. And going back to what I said that you very, very rarely, if ever, add salt to this unless you drain and refill it. It's not that the salt is truly low, it's that that cell has lost its ability to correctly read the salt level. So that's another indication it's time to replace it. But let's just pretend like it's been 4 months. Hot tub's yelling at us, is telling us it's time to replace the cell. We're gonna go ahead and hit that button. It says press OK to replace cartridge, so we're gonna hit OK. And now it's gonna prompt us step by step what to do to replace this cell. All right, so now it says remove cartridge now. So we're gonna come over here. Now this can change depending on which hot tub you have. This one is the Envoy, so it's in the front right corner. I'm gonna push this little button and pull straight up. All right, and there it is. Now you'll notice now it says insert new cartridge, so we could tell that I just removed one. So I'm gonna take my new cartridge, I'm gonna put it back here, and you're gonna hear a little click. Come back to our screen, and it says press OK to restart salt system, so I'm gonna hit OK. And now you're good to go for another 4 months. Okay, so it's not difficult to take care of. Again, it's a little bit of a learning curve to figure out what number works for your family and how much you guys use it. So at first, check it every other day, baby it. It's like every new toy you get, the more you play with it, the quicker you're gonna learn it. And then obviously if you struggle too much or really have questions, contact your local hot spring dealer and they'd be able to help you out. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. Bye-bye.